Good morning. How are we doing? Good morning. Hello. Hello. Hi. How are you? Whew, I'm about to sneeze right when we get into stream. We go live, we sneeze. Apparently that's how we do it. Freddie LaChance, thank you for the follow. Good morning, Slumberland, Bruce, Miss G's, Evan, Nauseum, Jesse, V-Rod, Galantium, Lammy for life. How are we all doing? Whew, I think I'm still coming down from the podcast. I do that when I think I've talked about it on stream before. Like, I'm good while I do the thing, right? Hey, Sally, Barry. While I'm recording the podcast or while I'm doing the stream, like, I'm good. I have energy. I generally feel good. When I stop, it just goes whoosh, like straight down. That's why I can't take too much of a break before I go into stream after the podcast, because I never would. I would never get started. So, RDJ June, 4 months of subbing. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. I missed the podcast stream. Did you do a live react to the new field notes? We did. We did. How did the section on the vac go? Are we talking to me? I haven't changed. I haven't messed around with my vac yet. I got to mess with the nib. Oh, are you talking to Galantium? Sorry, I missed it. Since I'm using the vac and we talked about it, I was thinking about it. Headphone hair is gonna bug me today too. So that's a thing. I got some pens I'm gonna ink up today. The podcast went well. We talked about the scribble pen, of course. That was the highlight. We talked about the Kovaco premium nib hitting the market finally, and acquiring one hopefully soon. We caught up with Mike from being off last week about the Canalea pen. Manta release. What else did we talk about? I don't know. I just did the whole show. It's like I can't even remember what we talked about. My brain is fried, and it's only Wednesday. It's not even Friday. Oh, probably because I'm thinking about how many awesome emails I need to work. What I was gonna do today, I was gonna work on emails with my spreadsheet for the St. Jude receipts. We might have to. I might have to do that tomorrow on stream. Would y'all sit here and watch me stream me triaging emails and putting them into a raffle spreadsheet? It would be thrilling content, as they say. New shown design were fun. The colors look fantastic. Love it. FC Model 46 Bermuda Blue, nice. Need to figure out how to fix my Kovaco ballpoint. I think this thread stripped to nothing. Which threads? Where the knock is? Like the back of the pen? Enjoy your Lark power belly. Yeah, which threads on the ballpoint? I don't have one here to look at. That's the only threads I can think of on the back side where the knock comes off. So yeah, we're just gonna chill today and ink up some pens. I have 2 pens to ink up. Is 004A here today yet? Finally got the vac ready to ink up, and I have my Edison Nebula, Orion Nebula to ink up. Take the ink pad out of the Kerfunker and then just Kerfunk every time you triage an email. That would be a lot of Kerfunking. 206. So last week was 209. It took me like 3 hours. I think y'all would go crazy if I did a stream for 3 hours of me triaging emails. But hey, I'm glad to do it. That just means we raised even more money for St. Jude through the Penang. Thank y'all so much for sharing that, spreading the word, donating if you could. I'm shocked. I'm going to have to figure out something more automated next year. So many pins to clean today. Hide it from the wife. I have a story about that. So I went on Saturday to clean some pens. I was like, I need to gather up my pens that are inked up, see what I have, and clean maybe everything out. You know, sometimes I do that, just the scorched earth theory, clean everything out. Then I went through my pen case. I was like, not ready to clean that out. Not ready to clean that out. Not ready to clean that out. So I ended up cleaning like 3 out of 10 pens that I had inked up and left and then added, the Parker Vac, Golden Web inked up. I've got 2 inked up pens today. And I thought that told me that I'm pretty happy with those pens I have inked up, and I want to keep using them, right? I don't need to switch them out. I don't need to ink up more pens, even though I'm about to. Is the Ultim still ink? So the Ultim, so what's still inked is like my greatest hits. I'll show y'all. Brad's greatest hits. And I thought it was a good representation of like what I like to use on the regular. So I have these three not in the case yet. We're going to ink up these in a minute. Just what we need to do is ink up more pens. But I got this stuff out to ink up some pens. Smand. So I've been using these two in lieu of the VAC. Sorry, headache. So the Homo sapiens Blizzard, which I actually kind of love. I can't believe it. Anyone get one of the new Shones yesterday? Slumber Studio was mentioned they got one. The Mayora I've been using because there's going to be a review of that coming up in the near term. That's probably like the next fountain pen I review. The Visconti should be called Eggshell. It is really like that. I still prefer Stormtrooper, but it really is like an eggshell pattern. And then the VAC Golden Web, which I'm going to clean out this weekend. And Brad Spoke Grips, I got spray paint. That would be cool. I would like to see that. That would be cool. The Golden Web I'm going to end up cleaning out. If you were here yesterday, I have a nib problem that I believe is self-inflicted on the Golden Web. So I'm going to clean this one out. And then I have the JR inked and the Swipe inked. So the Esterbrook JR is probably going to stay inked for a little bit. I'll probably do a review on that. I still have the one to send to Sarah. Good morning, Molly. So we'll probably end up doing like 2 or 3 reviews on this pen. I want to do it because I'm really, really enjoying it. Like, look, you see why I like this pen compared to the Golden Web and why I like this size of pen. Like, I don't mind these, but these are like at the maximum size for me in a pen. That's kind of like as big as I could go. They're both very comfortable writers, thankfully. And then we have the Swipe, which is turned out to be good. Like, I just keep it at my desk. I'm gonna keep it inked up and with the blue cartridge refills. I kind of like that Twisby blue has been perfectly fine. Apologies. Yeah, the JR reminds you of the Pelican. It is definitely like a 200 sized Pelican, for sure. So you can see why I like these two pens for someone who likes the smaller pens. And then like we're gonna ink this up today, which is just like a behemoth. Let's see how big is the VAC 700R compared. Like it's even a little bit longer than the Homo sapiens. So, like, these are, like, maximum size. Diameter, length, weight, everything. How long is that, Parker? "12 centimeters." So whatever that conversion is. Exactly 12. So these are the all out of the pen case inked pens. This one's about to be inked. These are all currently inked and active. Like, these are my 2 most used pens this week so far. Schmevelin with the gifted sub. Thank you so much, Schmevelin. Wait, I saw something about a cult and would I join it? Where'd that go? This already is one. Where'd it go? If Brad started a cult, would you join it? Oh yeah, I'm no cult leader. I'm no cult leader. So I'm using these mostly this week. These live over here for when I'm at my desk and want something different. Those live on the Smand, along with this week's highlighter. This week's vintage pen is about to get cleaned out because we had a fail. We had a self-inflicted failure on that. Then, this is what I thought I was going to clean out. Let's put these up here. What I thought I was going to clean out was what's in here, right? These I keep on my desk, and it's just kind of the pens that I want. One ink. It sounds like something a cult leader would say. So I couldn't bring myself to clean out my Kasama Una Ultim with, I got to get the right name for Mark on the nib grinder. I don't know if this is like a Turk, a Blade Turk, what's going on with this nib, but I got to get this on here. One Dog Night, 23 months of subbing. Let's go. Let's go. The Cult of Smand. Yeah, that's our only cult. We're the Cult of Smand, and it is our cult leader. It's our symbol. Hey, good morning, Tessa. So I love this pen. It's inked up with the Sailor Delaware. Which I think is my favorite. Is the Georgia one out yet? I need to get that one. I did like that one. Your stream delay is real bad. Yeah, reboot and resync. My Namiki Milky Way with Orochizuku Tsukiyo. That's pretty much the only ink I use in this pen. I didn't want to clean that out because I still like using it. My Shown Design Ultim, which is inked with Orochizuku Shinkai. So I don't have to use Shinkai in here because I use Tsukiyo. Tsukiyo's a little bit more blue-green. Keep the Ultim ink. I'm planning on not... Yeah, this one I'm not going to clean out. I'm just going to keep it inked. My Nakaya Piccolo with Mount Fuji water. Blue-black cartridge. This one I have not been using, but it needs to... This might be next week's pen of the week. The King of Pen with the bulk converter in it. And the Yamadori, Sailor Yamadori ink, which is one of the great inks. And then over in the pocket pouch, we have the new Icon that's coming out soon with the brass fittings. Sorry, Slumberland Studio. Look at that grip. Look at that grip. Yeah, the used Ultims right now, it's so new. If someone's selling theirs, it's gonna be close to regular price. Like, it's a premium material, so it's not gonna be really less. And then my Decapod, which I keep in here in the pouch of the Brasstown. So this is the Midori Decapod, which has the Imperial Purple ink in it, which I love. So that's this one here. Put it next to its friend. Well, that Decapod looks so long when you put it with all these. It's really a pretty small pen, all things considered. I guess when you write with it, it's like the cap's that long. Like the nib is only like this long, so you got to look at it from this dimension here. It's a little bit shorter. Yeah, so like, how could I clean any of this? I went to clean all of these, and except this one because I'm reviewing it, and I wasn't counting these over here. And I was like, I don't want to clean them. I want to keep using them. So I didn't clean them. I cleaned out my Narwhal that I did a review on. I cleaned out my Shown Design Brass Faceted because I want to swap out the nib on that if I'm going to use it some more. And then there was one other pen that I cleaned that I put away. I can't even remember. And then, oh, we got one more inked up. See, this is what happens when you say you're going to limit yourself to how many pens you're going to have inked up. They like reproduce like rabbits. It's like, okay, I've got all my pens in my case here. That's all I'm going to ink up. Except I have 2 pens here. I have 2 pens that I'm using. And we forgot about this one. I've got the Diplomat that I just reviewed, still inked up because I like it. And I was like, what am I going to do that's better? I mean, obviously I have a lot of things. Like, I'm really happy with all of these pens. Why would I clean them if I don't want to? So that's where we're at. And then we have this. We need to put this in here. So how many do I have inked up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 13 pens inked up, and I'm about to ink up 2 more. And, like, I'm actually pretty content with that, honestly. I prefer to have 6 pens inked up, but what am I going to eliminate from this? I mean, I'm cleaning this one out. And actually, I want to talk about this one in a minute, separately. But I want to use this. I want to use this. And it just goes down the list. So, like, okay. Like, I'm okay with having this many pens inked up when I see that these are the pens that are inked up. Does that make sense? I think it does. I don't have to tell you all that. So, yeah. 15 is a good round number. It's way more than I normally have because I got to use them, right? So we got to write more. And, you know, I'm working on that. Like, that's one of the things I'm actively working on, morning pages and such. I need to write more notes. I need to write more random stuff that I find interesting. So, stuff like that. So, work in progress. So, yeah, there you go. Squirrel, what's the pink marker highlighter? It's the Pentel Fit Line. These are the, hang on. I'm down to 40 inked. Yeah, I don't think I could go that far. Like, I get it, though. Like, I get it. Brad, have you looked into Mont Blanc Petrol Blue? I have a bottle of Petrol Blue. I'll ink it up soon. When I do, when I re-ink some pens, I'll pick that ink. It's pretty good. It's a little light for me. A little too blue-gray. Like, I like blue-grays as long as they're dark. So, yeah. And I got a new one. How do I not ink it? Right, Mike? That's exactly right. So, Steph, this is the one with the theoretical bendy tip. Right? That's what this is. So, but just as a general highlighter, they're great. I'm very happy with them. I haven't really used the marker tip size, but the standard highlighter, they've been really great. The colors are really good. So it was like a 7-pack or whatever, and I pick one per week to just do I just do the family highlights in my planner, like they get these stripes here. So you can see that pink is pretty light. So yeah, most of the colors are pretty light. The gray is a little bit darker than I like, but it's good. The purple is the one that's actually probably too dark to use. All right, great review from Mountain of Ink today or yesterday, sometime this week, of the ink that I have in here. Let me flip over to that real quick, which is Water and Mysterious Blue. And I want to talk about this ink real quick. I have never seen this much green in my Mysterious Blue. How long is the Ultim uncapped next to a King of Pen? Hang on, I'll show you. So this is Mysterious Blue, the old Florida Blue. I thought Florida Blue was the bright one. It's not. It's the blue-black, whichever the blue-black is. It's Florida Blue? Okay. So I love Mysterious Blue. My Mysterious Blue has never been this bright or had this much green. Yeah, I thought Florida Blue was like the turquoisey one, which I forget the new name of. So yeah, this is one of my favorite inks, but I've never seen the colors that Kelly's getting here. It makes me confused. Like, I know it definitely depends on the paper. Your Mysterious Blue has always been a teal color. See, it's not teal at all to me. This is close. Florida Blue is now Serenity Blue. Thank you. That was driving me crazy. Trying to find. See, she puts it more with the teals, even in the comparisons. I just don't see it. Like Tolstoy. So this, whoops. That's at least a little bit closer to what I see. Like this top line. This is Tomoe River 68. There's less green in the line, but still, mine's usually darker and grayer. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, so yeah, long story short, some of these Waterman inks have some variance in it, I think. I don't have a big writing sample with mine. Like, maybe it's kind of green. I don't know. I guess because I always write so small with it. Yeah, I don't really have a big writing sample with it. But that's about what mine looks like this. Like, if you're looking for like a teal or a green, I wouldn't lean on Mysterious Blue. It is definitely more of a blue-black for me. So anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up because I talk about how much I love this ink so much, except I don't see what Kelly sees for the most part. Yeah, you can send me an email, Bruce. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. So it's good that Kelly does all these different paper tests like this. Because this ink here doesn't look like this. Right? To me. But it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Great ink. Check on FPC to see the spectrum of the ink. I need to put a short color here. Let's see, can we search? See, the base, the popular color there is what I would choose. I like, that's right. And Kelly's is almost like there's hardly any green in here. There's some teals, right, in this range here, like especially this one right here. But yeah, like I'm good with that. Hey, Killer Sheep. Just finished migrating pins to a giant 96 pin case. Woof, that's crazy. All right. Let me show this to Bruce, and then I'm going to ink a couple pens. Maybe that's what makes it mysterious. Yeah, we don't know what color it is. That's a great way to name things. We don't know what color it is. It's some kind of blue. How about mysterious? It's a good way to do it. No, I'm not going to show it on stream, Bruce, but I'll look at it. I mean, because it's going to come through the lens on my phone. I don't have my laptop here. All right, so there is the Ultim versus the King of Pen. But I will see what it looks like for myself. Just out of curiosity, if it will come up. So the lengthwise here they're pretty equivalent. Yeah, what you see for Waterman's Mysterious Blue, Bruce, is almost identical to what I see, which to me doesn't look like this. So, yeah, just the standard blue gray, blue black. So yeah. So you just have a wider diameter here, wider grip section, wider diameter, which you can feel through here. And it's this is definitely narrower. The King of Pen is not a large pen other than in diameters, right? And they do the diameters to fit the gigantic nib in it, right? So the king of pen is the way that it is because the nib is massive, right? The nib is massive, and then the settings on the inside, like this housing here, like this whole thing is just enormous, right? It couldn't fit in like the regular size pens. So it's actually not a long pen, it's just a little bit of a wide pen. That's why it works for me. Yeah, the Emperor's wide and long. The Emperor's wider than this area here, and then about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch longer, maybe an inch. And it just changes the weight for me too, right? Because this is just, I mean, it's plastic, right? That's why I joke about the price of the King of Pen, right? This barrel, like, what do they call it? Precious resin from Mont Blanc. Ooh, that scared me. Thought something really was falling. So yeah, it's a great pen. Brad, are you going to make the spoke pen cartridge holder? Who knows? It's not even on the radar right now. That would be fun though. It's just like, how much of those would you sell? We'd sell a few, but yeah, not on the radar. We'll put it in the file. It'll go in the file somewhere. All right, let's ink up a couple of pens. The Emperors are hilariously big, yes. All right, so I'm gonna ink the vac up. The knock double wide needs to be first. That would go first. The knock double wide would be awesome. All right, so we're gonna do our vac filler in the bottle today. Field Notes Harvest just dropped. Yes, we saw them. They look good. Like the exterior is not like my jam, but that's fine. What they've done with the interior is pretty interesting. So yeah, like I was saying before, if you saw me break out the first group of pens, like I generally prefer smaller pens. This is very long and big for me. Brad, what's sad news about CW? It is. It is very sad. But like I get it. I get it very much. So we are going to, when y'all do like your TWSBI vacs, do y'all do multiple pumps? Do you start it outside? Do you start it extended and just go with one shot down, let it fill whatever it fills? Are you doing a multiple pump thing to where you're going to get like it really full? So what is y'all's recommendation? Mine has an EF nib, so one pump lasts me forever. Don't go for a full fill. Yeah, I rarely go for a full fill too. So yeah, I'm like just do it once and it gets me like halfway, which is a crap ton of ink. I'm trying to limit myself, Tony. There's lots of things here. So yeah, I'm just gonna hit it once from here and we'll see how it goes. I decided on Hydrangea. So this is the Birmingham Ink Hydrangea that we tested a couple weeks ago. So I thought this purple, like I have to do some sort of matchy-matchy, right? Like I have a cool red ink here that I want to try. I just can't put red ink into like the bright anodized pen. I just can't do it. So this Hydrangea, this purple color, kind of a little bit of a light, bright purple. That's what we're going to try here. I'm going to throw this down just in case something stupid happens. Can I get under the lens here? We need to move this out of the way. So I don't expect we'll probably have like less than half of a fill here, but like that's okay. That is a ton of ink. Podcast just dropped. Nice. That was pretty slow for Mike. All right. So you do want to hold the bottle when you're doing these, in any time really. I was going to say when you're doing these vacs, but anytime you fill a bottle, you want to hold it. I'm going to hold it at a little bit of an angle so maybe you can see. I just don't want to spill. All right, so you got to get it, for those who don't know, you have to get it past this part of the grip section here, right? So you get a good seal, because what's happening is the ink's going in here. Maybe. So the ink's going in here, so you have to seal it above this. So that's got to be out of the air, right? So I'm going to put that on the bottom side. I am going to tilt this a little. Normally, don't tilt this. And I'm just going to give it one pump here real quick. And you can see I was about right. We got about half a chamber of ink. That's a lot of ink, right? If you want it full, like all the way full, you do that like 3 times and it'll get up to about like 7/8 full, probably. All right. So that was it. One hit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and screw the piston down and recap this. And then we brought a little wet paper towel in here just to wipe the grip and anything that got on the bottle, right? Yeah, so there you go. So that's your vac fill. We got a little extra ink bubbling up on there, so yeah, that's what it looks like when it's got ink in it. And that's plenty of ink for me to test this with and feel it out. We'll do some writing with it in just a second. I want to ink this other pen up. Brad, how does your Kovaco 14 karat nib line with compare with the steel ones? It's hard for me to compare, Mafia Geek, because I don't have a fine gold nib. They only sent me at the time. They sent me broad and double broad, and I kept the broad and had it modified into a stub. So I don't really have an extra fine one that I could compare with. So I wish I did. I would use it all the time if I did. Now I just use it kind of sparingly. A lot of y'all have asked about the Kovaco Gold Nib. I'll bring that in here next week or tomorrow if I think about it. You're looking at getting a bicolor nib and fine. Yeah, so I have the two-tone nib, but it's a broad, and I had to get it ground into a stub just for my sanity. Yoseka blog post about the premium nibs is up. The one thing, I meant to talk about this on the podcast. We talked about this on the podcast. The one thing about a product like that, and I was going to say this to Mike, is I'm glad I'm not a retailer. Because then I have to justify to my customers that is a good product because I'm carrying it, right? But what if I don't believe that? Like, I would be a terrible retailer. I'm bad at capitalism. I would be a terrible retailer. That's why the only time I ever got in trouble at JetPens because I was honest on Twitter one day. I'm not cut out for retail. They discuss it might be a slightly different alloy because it feels stiffer. If it does, that would be great. That wouldn't surprise me. Jademoso Prime sub, and thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. All right. The other pen. Any new stock of the spoke pen coming anytime soon? Been dying for a cyan crush to go with my orange. We're trying to get these icon parts done, and then we will circle back to what is probably one of our best sellers ever. Like, there will be more of these. Like, this is mine. This is the one I use. So, yeah. I'm glad you like this one, Henry, and I'm sorry we're sold out. There will be more. There will be more. All right. Second pen I need to ink up is the Orion Nebula, the Newark model from Edison and Gold Spot. I just love this material. I love the pen size. Again, here, this is a pen size thing, right? So just in exterior dimensions, you can tell how much smaller this is. And then the interior writing dimensions are going to be drastically different. Well, maybe not drastically, but thinner and shorter and lighter. So generally I go for thinner, shorter, lighter, which is what's here. All right. Hey, Gamma Gamma. Hey, Gabba Gabba also. So we're going to ink this up. This is the one I have a question. I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to tell y'all what I'm going to do. And I need to review these Van Diemen's inks. So Pepperberry was the one that everyone was saying to Twitch didn't tell me we were on. Yeah, they're bad at notifications. Pepperberry was the one that everyone said to get. It's a blue-black that I will like. And then Devil's Kitchen was another choice. And I think I have to go with Devil's Kitchen on this because of the brightness in this. There's some like teal pops. And what the difference between these two is. It's funny. I will talk about that Tam Servo. So this is the samples we did the other day. So Pepperberry is a really great blue-black, right? That's kind of like a traditional kind of perfect mixture blue-black. It's like a 50-50 and then like a little bit of gray is the result. So I love that mixture. So that's on Tomoe River. And then this is on bank paper. It's a little bit darker. Devil's Kitchen is a teal with kind of some character. And I think for this pen, that's going to work better for me. I think I'm going to like the Devil's Kitchen better. With the matchup, I don't know. Like, I'm torn either way. I can't put both inks in here. So I'm going to try Devil's Kitchen just because seems like it has a little bit more character, where Pepperberry seems a little bit more flat. But there's nothing wrong with a flat blue-black. Like, Lamy Blue-Black is a flat blue-black, and it's one of my favorites. It reminds me of this a lot. Lamy Blue-Black's a little bit lighter than this, but it reminds me of that a lot, and that's probably one of my favorite blue-blacks. So I'm going to enjoy this. I'm just not going to ink it up today. Tam Servo. I generally agree, but for some reason, the way Edison does them, I don't mind it to the point where I almost like it. Maybe it's because I've used several other Edison pens with that etching on there, and I like it. But I bought it purposefully knowing that I'm going to like the etching as a feature. But I get why people would not want it. For some reason, on this pen and a couple of other Edison pens, this works for me. Where I will admit, other pens, it doesn't. So I can't explain why, but I'm actually okay with it. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. If that was going to bother me, I would have never bought the pen, which is completely valid. So yeah, definitely not for everyone. Brad, have you tried Robert Oster Blue Denim? No, I have not. I think the white lettering is sharp on that. Maybe that's what it is. And maybe the other one that I use so much, I have a blacked out Beaumont that has this too. And I guess I'm just maybe I'm so used to it, it does not distract me at all. In actuality, I enjoy it. About to try my sample of Stipula Purple. It's not your wheelhouse? Really? Wow, this bottle is really full. Did y'all see the new Stipula Jonathan Brooks thing? Is that public? He sent me a link. Did y'all see that one? Hang on, I'm gonna cap this back. I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna get a bottle because it's close looking to Mont Petrol Blue is 17 instead of 45. Yeah, for sure. I don't notice it on my Edison Pearl, basically. Yeah. It reminds me of a glittery bowling ball material. Do they etch if you custom order? I'm sure they don't have to. Carol's on a heater today. I appreciate it. See what you're doing there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Devil's Kitchen on this. I haven't cleaned. What did I get on here? I'm sure an extra fine. Yeah, extra fine. Just stock extra fine nib. Here, Edison etched logo. Cool material. Yeah, now that you say that, I guess all my Edison pens are etched. But like if you ordered a custom, they might not. All right, I didn't have to sneeze. Just in for a bit. Dallas Pen Show Week. I didn't even realize that. How is that? That's like not even on my radar. I didn't know they were having a show. This whole desk pad is just gonna end up being an ink pad by the time we're done here one of these years. I guess I'm okay with that. But this bottle's so full, it just kind of popped off. I am not gonna be tilting this bottle whatsoever. All right, let me close this back. So did y'all see the Stipula Brooks thing? Is that public or is that private? Is that out and about? Because it's jaw dropping. Like I'm not gonna get it. It's like very expensive, but man, it's good looking. It's not private anymore. Yeah, I knew that as soon as I said it, but I didn't know if there was an actual release of it. I don't think my Mina is etched. Could be. All right. So there we go. There's Toby. Yeah, I think I hear the mail. It's on his Instagram. Gotcha. Angel says hi. Does Angel perk up if they hear other dogs or pets barking? Because I know Toby does. Like if Toby hears like a dog on TV or on a stream or something, he'll be like, especially, you know what he really hates is sirens. Like if he hears a siren like on a TV show, that flips him out. She started borking. Yeah, exactly. That Toby will do that. That and sirens. Storms, couldn't care less. He could care less about storms. Sirens, and then, of course, other animals. Plenty of borking. All right. So that's those two inks. Let's write. I dropped it again. Brad, would you be at the Philly Pen Show? Too early to say. I probably won't decide until like December or so. See how travel's going. Colorado canceled because the hotel couldn't get supplies for the restaurant, but folks are putting together a one-day local show to tide us over. I can see that. Like, not having, like, the facilities ready. I've been hovering over a celluloid stipula. Let me see. Let's pull this up real quick. I mean, I don't own a Stipula pen. It's kind of perfect. But I'm not wanting to spend that kind of money right now. But it looks like a perfect pen for me, like shape and size wise. I mean, highly unpopular opinion. I don't like primary manipulation. I'd say that's maybe a little unpopular, but like I get it. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. I just don't. I've never used Stipula. There needs to be a Knock Braxtown that is gray and orange called the Pen Addict Edition. We might do that one of these days. But yeah, like I don't have that. I've bought 2 expensive pens this year, along with some other ones. Like in the past 3-4 months, like it's just a lot. But man, that looks good. So yeah, I mean that's just dope. Like all the way around, that's just cool. I'm really anxious to try someone else's. That's really good. I sold several pens because I bought ahead of the sale. The purchasing preempted the sale. You know, that's the way it had to go that time. I was like, I couldn't wait on the Nikaya, right? Because that was just the Nikaya was kind of a one-off, and the Homo sapiens I could have waited on, but it was as good a price as it's gonna get, so I just went ahead and did it. And then we decided we needed to sell some pens. All right. The only thing I really don't do well on stream is writing samples because my handwriting is small, right? Like I wish my stock handwriting was a little bit bigger, but I have to have a stub nib to, I mean, I can always lift it. So this is a fine steel nib. It is really firm and really fine, which I am down with. This writes like an extra fine to me. Whoops. Twisby Vac Zoo. Because I love my handwriting. It's just really hard to see. I do have problems spelling online. I try to correct it. Imagine like trying to do this live. Like I have a hard time talking live too. Just wait till we spell hydrangea in a second. All right, I'm going to do hydrangea without looking. I think I got it. Is that right? I think that's right. This is a really good color for this pen. You know, this is the VAC 700 is comfortable to write with. This, the step in the barrel is so huge you can really feel it. Like normally my fingers are even out a little bit more, so you kind of clear it, but it's up there and out there so much you kind of do run into it. I don't think Carol. So, I don't know. We'll have to see some long-term writing how that grip feels. Otherwise, it feels pretty good. I love the nib. The nib is really firm. And that's pretty fine for a fine nib. Like, it feels closer to an extra fine. And that hydrangea, you can see when it starts to dry here, you can see the color differences in the middle of the ink. You can't really tell it in the lines themselves, but you can see, like if I had a stub nib, this color would be all over the place, which is cool, right? This is a cool ink. That'll probably be the next Birmingham ink I review. Twisby Vac Zooer. Twisby Vac Zooer. And then this one is, let me write this down. The bigger the pen, the bigger I write. That should go without saying, but I have to say it all the time because it does matter. The size of the pen and the size of the nib, you have to match with your writing style. Like, I hope y'all know that. That's why I have a tougher time with a large pen and a tiny nib. What is that? Where did that come from? Is that on? Oh, did I? Let's see. No. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe from putting the bottle back on. It's not on the pen. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, nothing on the pen. Okay. Magical. Thank you, Cup Van Marte. Yeah, the vac is nice to write with. If you like a large pen, I like that. That's pretty good. So this is an extra fine, and it's the line width is almost the same. These are theoretically both Jowo nibs. This one actually feels softer, extra fine steel than fine steel in that one. I don't know why. This was definitely the right ink choice too. So Van Diemen's have 1 in or 2. I'm gonna go with 1. This was totally the right color choice because you can see these blue hits in the material. VAC 700R nibs are supposedly Jowo 6, but a custom shape at the least. Yeah, that's why I say theoretically. Like, I assume that they are until someone tells me for a fact they're not. But they could also be a custom shape, just like Kovacos are a custom shape, right? Jowo, but custom build. This ink looks like Petrol blue. It's a little bit bluer. Boy, that's a good combination of ink right there. Those two. I feel we're a little bit extra shady today. I don't know what it is. A little extra shadows. See you, Lamy for life. Yeah, this is a pretty color. That's an all-day writing color. Not that hydrangea isn't, but as much as I love something like hydrangea, I have my daily limits. Like at some point I'm good. Like most of the blues and blue blacks I can just go with for whatever. Same with orange. Like as much as I love orange, I have my daily limits. It's like, okay, I'm good. I'm good on the orange there. So, yeah. I have a Twisby vac nib and a Bach housing in my Keras custom. They're great nibs. That's the one thing we've talked about. I am not interested in being like the Frankenpin guy. I don't know why. That's just not ever been my jam. Like I totally get it. I'm surprised I'm not that Frankenpin guy, like Mafia Geek or like Andrew or some of the other people. I just tend to go with how it came, for the most part. Brad, did you get your hands on a Frank and Christoph Model 02 in Bermuda Blue? I did not. I didn't see that one. I heard about that one, but I didn't. I might have gone for that because the 2's my favorite. The 2 is definitely my favorite. Shockingly enough, the 2 is my favorite Frank and Christoph model. It's really good. Nib just goes straight in, no mods required. Except you have 3 different pins. Not really. I mean, I know the Keras comes with the Bach housing and then the other nib. But I like it when they say no mods required except the 5 different parts you need to put it together. No mods required. But I get what you're saying. I'm just being silly. I know it's kind of apples to oranges, but pros and cons of King of Pen versus Nakaya. I think that's a legitimately great question. How much sparkle is in that Edison pen? A lot. I'll show you. Let's see if I can get it in here. It's more sparkly than I thought. Even though it's like subtle when it's on the desk, it's more sparkly than you think it is. I think up close it's very sparkly. See if we can get it in the camera here. There we go. So I call this very sparkly. I don't think you could argue that it's not very sparkly. The difference, though, with some other sparkly pens is that the darkness kind of tempers that when you take it away from you, right? Like you can see it here, or like when I'm writing with it, that hey, it's got a lot of sparkle in it, but it doesn't hit necessarily. Like you see it a lot more in the camera. The camera actually picks up this tail end very, very well, where in my hand I can barely see these colors. Who makes the material? Diamond Cast. So I forget his name, but it's the Diamond Cast material, right? I think it's Diamond Cast. Only 1 pen and 1 spare nib. I know. I'm just messing with you. So the King of Pen versus Nakaya. Let's talk about this. I'll get it. Let me get them out from here. I like it better from afar, but it's interesting. Yeah. How does that compare with a Benu's sparkliness? It's different. Benu's are way more, to me, Benu is a lot more on the surface, right? Where this is more in the material. And Benu uses larger glitter specks. So they tend to be a little bit more obvious. And they seem to be more just like really, really on the top, almost close to the surface, even though they're in the material, where this feels like it's in the depths of the material, if that makes sense. So that's the way I see the difference. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, that could go either way, depending on the design, depending on the material. So that's kind of the way I feel it. Benu is more crunchy. Okay. Brad, I'm being good and haven't been coveting that pen. Look, Rewizzles, I did it to myself, right? I said, I don't need this pen. I'm going to give it away. And that's going to be how, like, you know, I'll get to check out the pen and have some thoughts and ideas about it. And then I couldn't do it. I lost my willpower. Not a fair comparison. Nakai is a brand with a range of pen models. KOP is a specific... Well, yeah, sure. But just like the general things you're looking for. And we'll even use like the most basic Nakaya, which I think is still one of the best. Leonardo Fig Boot collab arrived yesterday and spectacular. That pen looks so good. It came out great. That was right at the time where I just bought these other pens. That was like on the heels of my Homo sapiens purchase. I didn't need another, and just sold some Leonardos. I didn't need another Leonardo. So, Namiki winner Vlad is making the point that these are not comparable pens. And I think that's a fair point. But the comparison could be, what do each of these pens offer for kind of a similar price? Because they are completely different, right? So, the Nakayas are, for all intents and purposes, a handmade pen, right? It's an ebonite base pen, and a shape is carved out of ebonite and then lacquered on the top manually. Urushi layers of lacquer. In this case, specifically a singular color called Kikyo blue. You can layer all kinds of different colors. The more colors, the more layers, the more expensive the pen. This is probably like the singular... This isn't the singular cheapest. Like the least expensive Nakaya would be a Piccolo with no clip and a standard gold nib. So mine has the rhodium plating upgrades on this pen. So it's not the singular most least expensive, but it's close. Probably like around $550 maybe is this setup, something like that, $550. But it's one of my favorites for the shape and everything. So it's extraordinarily lightweight. Like, it is so light that it will freak you out the first time you touch a Nakaya. That's how light these pens are. That's what the Ebonite does, and that's what not having much other hardware as part of the pen does, as part of the pen is. The only other metal piece you have here is you have this metal piece that goes into the feed and the collar and the housing in here. It's where the cartridge or converter goes in place. It's an ultralight pen. The nibs are spectacular. I mean, they're just perfect, platinum Nakaya nibs. So that's what you're buying when you buy a Nakaya. It is such an interesting, unique feel that what you see is beauty, but until you pick it up, you don't understand why. And then once you pick it up, you're still a little bit confused until you start writing with it. And then that's when it kind of all clicks. Not to get overly romantic about Nakaya, that's just the way I feel about them. I think they're special because of the things that I can't put in a review, right? The feeds are Ebonite, yes. I think, are they? I don't think this one is. So no, maybe the feeds aren't Ebonite. I don't know. This doesn't look like Ebonite. That just looks like plastic. That's not an Ebonite feed. I don't know if they do some models with Ebonite feeds or not. Some of the more like expensive models. So then the Pro Gear, the King of Pen, is a machined as a manufactured pen, not a handmade pen, right? Machines are making this, which is fine too, right? But these barrels are, plastic. Like the biggest hang up I get about the King of Pen is like you're paying a lot for like the same basic plastic you get on the Pro Gears and the 911s, like, which is fine. What about the Ebonite Urushi King of Pen? Yeah, I mean, you could just say, what about the Rodden inlaid Nakaya? Like, they're very different. So, like, we're talking about this specific pen. You can get an Urushi Ebonite King of Pen for 3 times the price of this one. But like the mainline King of Pen is a plastic barrel. It's wider in the grip section. The nib is larger. The nib is 21K. The Nakayas are 14, I think, right? I'd have to go back and look at it. I don't think they're 18K. I think they're 14K on this model. It's a little bit heavier because of the internals, right? And then I have even a bulk converter added in here. This is an add-on that I bought separately. COSU. But what you're really getting in the King of Pen is the writing experience, right? Like with the Nakaya, what you're paying for is all in the total package. I really think the King of Pen is you're paying for this front end section with the gigantic 21 karat nib, right? That's got to be well over half the price probably of this. But all that said, like, I don't knock this pen because it is an amazing writing experience. Like, it just works. It's one of those things I wasn't sure was going to work for me due to the size and diameter and the largeness of the nib, knowing that I can't get anything like the lowest stock nib is a medium, and I could get it ground down, but when I have a pen this big and a nib that far away from the page, I don't need like an extra fine or a needle tip here. So it's just a really, really great writer. The thing about the King of Pens is like I'm covered, right? I think I have like 3 of them now. I sold one and I don't need another one. I could see buying another Nakaya because they will be different enough for me to justify the cost if I buy a separate one. Where this, they're going to do the Sailor thing where they have the different colors and the, every year they'll have the color, and then they'll do a 1911 and the different colors. And it's like, okay, I've got my sky blue one, I've got my orange one, and then I have a special one. That's an older rare one, in the mosaic green. But like that's it. Like if I'm gonna upgrade this or get another King of Pen, I don't really need to do anything except get an Urushi model for, I don't know what they're like, $1,800, $2,000, something like that. I never owned the Ocean King of Pen. I sold the clear one with the blue finials. So I have an Ocean Pro Gear that I love. So yeah, like they're just very, very different pens for very, very different, types of usage, I think. Both great writers, both great feel. They're just expensive. It's hard to justify any purchase that expensive. And that's why, like, I think I probably wouldn't spend the money on a King of Pen that they go for now. Like the base King of Pens are about $800. Like when this came out, I paid $7 something for this. Yeah, I'm gonna do a giveaway in just a second. We're about to wrap up. So the price of these has gotten to where I would just rather buy this. I would rather buy the Nikaya. Even though when you're spending that much money on a pen, like, what does it matter? But I do think the Nikayas are almost a better value now than the King of Pen. The King of Pen's never been a good value in my book. That hasn't stopped me from enjoying them or loving. I mean, I absolutely love the King of Pen. It's one of the worst value fountain pens on the market for what it is, if that makes sense. All right. I hope that answered some of the questions about the difference between the two. King of Pens from Japan are $450. Untrue. I would like to see a link if that is the case. I bought one from Japan for $650. That's the cheapest I've ever seen. Unless it's some old model. But there's no way they're $450. I will believe that when I see it, Bruce. All right, let's give something away. Let me think about this. I should think about the giveaways before the stream, so y'all don't have to sit there and wonder what I'm doing the whole time while I'm sitting there thinking about what I should give away. I know what we can give away. We can give away one of the inks that I got from the Opus 88 donor, right? I had those 4 bottles, and 2 were already ones that we had, the cotton candy and the Tihani Lila cotton candy. Which one's at the top here? Tihani Lila is the easiest one for me to access. So let's do this. Don't worry about prepping for them. Don't worry. I was just kidding. I would never prep for them. People who know me know that ain't happening. I'll say I want to do it. Pensacci, they go for $550 for the standard black ones. That makes some sense. That's pretty cheap. $450 would be a steal. $1911 King of Pen, $550. That's a good deal. Like, I would buy that over a regular 1911. You're spending almost $400 for a regular 1911, like $390 for a 1911 large. That's a good deal. Yeah, $550, $555. It's a good price. Okay, so these were given to me to use for giveaway. Oh, I'm showing y'all in the camera like I know what I'm doing. The pretty colors start at $700. Yeah, in the U.S. they start at $800. So this is Tiani Lila. I don't think, maybe they've been used a little bit. Like, I think there's maybe a little bit of ink out of here. I don't know. It's pretty full. But these were given to me, and I already have it. So I was going to use them for reviews or giveaways or stuff. So how about we give this? How about we give this away? So this is a really good ink color. So I reviewed the Narwhal. My Narwhal review has this color. And then Jeff did a review of the ink itself, and it looks so good. So yeah, this is a great color. All right, let's give this away. Then I'm going to wrap it up. It's almost 1 o'clock. I need to get lunch. And boy, I really need to get on the last batch of St. Jude now that we're closed so I can do all the giveaway prizes. I'm hoping to have that done by next week. It's going to be a little bit of time, so thanks for your patience with that. But it was such a hit that we got a lot of entrants for the raffle. So it'll take me a little bit to sort out. All right, let me get this. All right. So the Parker Gold Web will wait until this weekend. This weekend I will clean it out and shape it. What's for lunch? I'll have leftover chicken enchiladas that my wife makes that are very good. So that is the plan. I'm actually looking very much forward to that. I hope you can get through those emails. It's going to take some time. I seriously might have to do some on stream tomorrow. When are you planning the drawing for? Just depending on how long it takes to sort the emails. So I'll sort the emails, take a break, and then it depends on when I get the emails done. Once I get the emails done, picking the winners is easy. It's getting through. It's just getting everything in the spreadsheet. Just putting everything in the spreadsheet, making sure it's accurate, and then I'll be able to just enter into random.org and match like the range of numbers and the individual numbers on the spreadsheet line is how I do it. Next year I need to do something more automated. If it's going to be at least this big next year, which I hope it is, I need to figure out a way to automate it. But that's pretty impossible. I would have to get St. Jude involved, which maybe they would do it. They're pretty happy with the Pen Addict group specifically, how we rise up and do this stuff. So maybe they could do, maybe like we could use a keyword. If we could use a keyword on the raffle, and then they could just dump me a file that I could manage somehow. We'll see. We'll approach that as we get into next year. We are an awesome group of people. You can write some kind of script to process the emails. I can't because a lot of it's images coming through, right? So I'm getting a lot of, like, if you get a receipt, a lot of time it's an image that's being forwarded. I haven't asked people to, like, fill out a specific field. Like, I could do that in a form or something, but I still have to manually match, make sure people are telling the truth. I mean, 99.999% of people do, but you still have to audit that, right? So maybe it's a form next year, then an email attachment to match what you say. You know, that might be easier. All right. That is done. Just audit the winner. Well, yeah, I mean, I just want the chances to be correct, right? Since everyone has a different amount of chances based on how many they entered, right? It's weighted a little bit, so. All right, winner, Cub fan Marte. It's just because Cub fan Marte reminded me to hydrate today that they are the winner. I cannot wait to get rid of this. I might just have to punt this Kunasawa sheet thing. All right, Cub fan Marte, you know the drill. Do you want me to write your name in Hydrangea or Devil's Kitchen? That's the real question. That's the tough question of the day. Hydrangea or Daryl's. Brad, you need an assistant? I'm threatening. Like, not even joking. I wasn't joking about getting like help with Instagram the other day. My wife is on me. to hire an assistant. Either is good, you chicken. We're going to use Hydrangea because it's like Tiani Lila. I really like this nib. Check this out. Yeah, it's more like I need someone more than like a digital assistant. Look at that. I need someone who's here to like finish, like physically do stuff. Since I have a bunch of physical work too. Like they would have to be like a combo meal. Yeah, I wouldn't advise anyone to move to Georgia right now. Unless Atlanta. Atlanta's cool. All right. Did Tyler finish paying off the phone? For his birthday, I let him off the loan with the idea that he has to help me whenever I need shipping help. And he's lived up to that. So I absorbed his loan for his birthday. I was tired of managing it, to be honest. My husband's from Fayetteville, Peachtree City. Yeah. Like, those are nice suburbs. I wouldn't want to live there. Like, it's close enough to the city, but it's also Fayetteville, Peachtree City. Like, not that where I live is anywhere special either. Like, but I live in the country at least. That's a mess. It's a mess. I'd get shot by some redneck for mouthing off. That's probably true. All right. Anyone streaming I should raid? Let's look. But no, I am on the radar for thinking about hiring like a student. We have 2 colleges here that are pretty busy, and for like a 10-hour a week job for starters, and then we'll see how it goes. All right. What are we doing on here? Simarchy vintage journaling. Yeah, this looks cool. Let's take a look at this. We'll go hang out with Simarchy today. I don't know what she's doing, but it looks cool. All right. I'm going to go grab some lunch. I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. Ink pens, write with them. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. Y'all have a good one. Go listen to the podcast. It was fun. If you were here for the scribble shenanigans last week, we covered that. I made Mike watch the video. So y'all go check that out. We had a good time with it. So, all right. Y'all go say hey to Simarchy. And, Wirecutter has another article. We'll see. I might have contributed to that one. I can't remember. Bye.